Yeah, how are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for taking some time to chat with me today.
Of course.
So, Alice, first off, tell me, how excited are you for the third season of Heartstopper to premiere on Netflix?
So excited. I literally just wish it was out now. Yeah, we've got 8 days to go and I just can't wait.
But so, can you give us a hint as to what we can expect from this season and what you're most excited for viewers to see?
Yeah, so I mean we've left off in season two. Uh Charlie wants to say I love you to Nick. And that's sort of where we meet them in season three. But Nick has also started to notice that Charlie's mental health is maybe getting a little bit worse. He's already heard from Charlie about his eating issues, and Nick's starting to think maybe Charlie has an eating disorder. So they've each got something to talk to the other person about, and
Mhm.
want to have that conversation. And then, yeah, so season three is very much an exploration of Charlie's mental health journey, and how that affects their relationship, as well as checking in with all our supporting characters as well and seeing where their journeys are taking them.
Definitely, definitely. It sounds like some deep, meaningful conversation is going to be had.
Mhm.
So, do you have a favorite episode from this season that they shot?
Yes, episode four. And I'm sure we've all been talking about episode four, I think. So everyone's probably tired of us going on about it by now. But yeah, episode four, I think is very different. It's got a slightly different format to what we know from
Mhm.
Heartstopper. So structurally it feels quite different. And it was a real challenge to film. There was a lot more scenes. I seem to remember. I think most Heartstopper episodes have like 40-ish scenes, and then episode four in season three has like 70 something scenes.
Wow.
So it was a real production challenge for everyone, but and with a lot of emotional scenes as well. But yeah, everyone did an incredible job.
Good, good. So, as the OG writer and illustrator of Heartstopper, what has it been like to see your work come to life like this, and how meaningful has this journey been for you?
It's been amazing. I really feel like I've had one of the most blessed experiences of a book adaptation. Book adaptations can often go so badly, and authors can be sort of kicked out the minute the option is taken. And I feel very lucky to be so involved, and to have had so much creative input into what the show is. And the reaction to the show has been beyond anything I ever thought it would be. I really thought I obviously never imagined it could even be a TV show.
Yeah.
And when we were making it, I didn't think it would blow up in the way that it did. So it's been really, really surprising and obviously amazing and a very special experience.
Definitely. And when Seesaw Films asked you to write a screenplay for this, did you have any hesitation at all, or were you immediately on board with it?
I was immediately on board. I knew I wanted to be involved in some
Mhm.
capacity. I couldn't have just let someone else take control of the story. I was very protective of the story and the characters. So when they asked if I wanted to write it, I was like, yes, absolutely.
Yes, yes. So, for those who don't know, can you talk a little bit about how Heartstopper initially came to fruition?
Yeah, so Nick and Charlie were originally characters in a book that I wrote before Heartstopper called Solitaire. That was the very first book that I wrote when I was 17 years old. And Nick and Charlie in that book, they are supporting characters. They're in a relationship, they're very much in love, but we don't really learn how they got together or what their story is like outside of the main characters. So when I finished writing Solitaire, I knew I loved these characters so much and I wanted to tell their story somehow.
Mhm.
And a couple of years later, I started making that as a webcomic. And Heartstopper was just a free online webcomic that anyone could read, and it still is a free online webcomic. But yeah, it kind of grew from there. I self-published the first volume and then it got picked up by a publisher, published in bookshops, and then we got the TV option. So yeah.
Very nice. And do you believe Heartstopper is opening doors for more wholesome teenage LGBTQ plus representation on television?
I hope so. Yeah. I mean, Heartstopper, I think, is not the only um show or movie that has been part of that like drive for more queer teen stories. You know, before Heartstopper, there was Love Victor, and before that, there was Love Simon, and you know, there's a sort of history where you see it developing. And but yeah, I certainly hope there's more to come post Heartstopper. Absolutely.
Definitely. So, in your opinion, what makes Kit Connor and Joe Locke perfect for the roles of Nick and Charlie?
Oh my gosh, so many things. I mean, they're really the perfect cast. Joe, I always felt like he could he really understood the two different sides of Charlie. You know, Charlie can come across as quite shy sometimes, but Charlie has this inner confidence and this inner strength to him, and I always felt like Joe understood that and could play that side of him. And Kit is a very emotional actor, I think. You really read his emotion like at every single moment when you see his face. He's very in tune with the character's emotions. And Nick is um, like I think people in the auditions, a lot of people played Nick as kind of more of a jock type character. While Nick, I think, is very sensitive and emotional, sort of young boy. And Kit definitely tapped into that and really makes you feel so much for him. And of course, Kit and Joe together, it was really important that they had chemistry. And I think they are two people who come from very, very different worlds and they bring very different energies to every scene. And that creates the sort of tension and you know, all the fireworks, I guess, of Nick and
Yeah.
Charlie. Yeah.
Definitely. And we also have Yasmin Finney, Karina Brown, Toby Donovan, featured appearances by Olivia Colman, Stephen Fry, Jonathan Bailey. How amazing has it been to work with so many talented actors on this show?
It's been amazing. Yeah, like so amazing. I mean, the rest of the main cast are all incredible. I feel so lucky that we found them. There was the casting process was really scary. I knew that if we didn't find the best actors, then the show would just fall apart. But we're very lucky that we did find them, and I'm so glad that they've been a part of it. And to see them evolve and develop as actors has been really exciting as well. But of course, it's amazing to have such high profile actors get involved as well. Obviously, Olivia Colman has been incredible as Nick's mum. I really didn't imagine that she would want to be involved in something little like Heartstopper, but she did, and she was incredible, and we're all very grateful. And then we've obviously got a little cameo from Jonathan Bailey this season, which is really, really exciting. And I was very, very happy to hear that he wanted to be a part of it, amidst all the other incredible things that he's been doing. And it was, yeah, he's such a nice guy, and it was a pleasure to have him on set. Yeah.
For sure. Now, it hasn't been confirmed that there will be a fourth season just yet, but if there is, who would you love to see come on board and have a role or a cameo?
Ooh, that's a good question. Who? I don't know. Um, I mean, I think I literally read an interview today where Kit and Joe were saying that they wanted Andrew Scott to be in the show, and I think he would be a good addition. Obviously, he's done a lot of queer cinema, so I feel like he would absolutely fit in with our story for sure.
Definitely, I agree. Now, is Heartstopper following what you wrote kind of like directly, specifically, or are we kind of venturing off in other directions here with the show?
Well, I think the core story of Heartstopper is very much the same in
Okay.
the books and the show, but the show just expands everything. It really has more room to play with, and particularly for the supporting characters, we can take them on much bigger, more complex journeys that there just isn't room for in the comics. So we get to see a lot more of Tao and Elle's romance, and even Tara Darcy, we see a lot more of them. And in the show, we've got more characters. We've got Isaac and we've got Imogen, who each have their own stories now as well. So yeah, there's the core story is definitely the same, but there is just more stuff in that.
So a lot of involvement. Okay, perfect. And you're currently working on a sixth and final volume of Heartstopper?
Yes, I am indeed.
Very nice. When do you think that'll be released?
Unsure yet. I've sort of just started working on it. I'm
Okay.
about 70 pages in. The books are normally like 350-ish pages, so who knows? Definitely not next year. I think it will be like early 2026, at the
Okay.
earliest, but who knows?
Yeah. You want everything to wrap up perfectly, I know.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Awesome. Well, Alice, ultimately, whether you watch Heartstopper now or you watch Heartstopper like 15 years later, what do you always hope audiences take away from the show or from the books series?
The core message of Heartstopper for me is that things will get better, and things are going to be okay in the end. Like, no matter what dark things you're going through, you can find your way out from that. And there's always going to be joy and friendship and love and happiness to be found, no matter what is going on in your life. So, yeah,
All right, fantastic. Well, Alice, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure talking with you.
you.
Very much appreciate it. Thank you so much, Kingsley. If you're there,
Thanks,
Kingsley.
Denny. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. I'll talk to you later. Bye, Alice. Thank you so much.